January 15th, but I'm still saying Happy New Year because, last year was very rough, but we're so happy to have you with us. And today we are starting with a very interesting topic because a lot of us know how the situation is financially right now. We've just had to pay school fees. Some of us are not being able to pay school fees because despite having the whole of last year to plan to pay school fees in January as per the government directives, we still have find ourselves without money. Maybe we've lost jobs. So we really are, this is a very relevant topic right now, financial enrichment. And I have with me in studio some guests who are very able to just guide us on where we are, understand the gaps that we have to be able to be people who are financially enriched. And I want to give them this opportunity to introduce themselves. I'll start with ladies first, and I'll start with the lady on my extreme right. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Caroline Matu, an investment banker for the last 15 years. I am a financial consultant, and I am very passionate about informing Kenyans and teaching them how to plan their finances. Thank you.
Excellent. Welcome to the show.
Thank
I like
you.
that you're passionate about it.
Yes.
Yes. We have another lady in studio. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Esther Nina Olo. I'm a financial consultant. I run an organization called Nina Gina Consulting, and we just deal with helping individuals to manage their money better, and even companies and organizations to manage their finances. It works both ways. I'm also passionate about passing knowledge to Kenyans on being better at managing their money.
Excellent. So I'm happy that you're with us today, and we do have a gentleman. I love the fact that we're gender balanced. I think two-thirds majority rule has been met here, right? So
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Oliver Ekesa. I am a technical trainer at Thika Technical Training Institute, and I also do farming. Thank you.
Excellent. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I just want us to get right into it. But before we do, I want us to, let's start with Oliver. Tell us a little bit about what experience led you to be able to meet Nina, who has already told us that she is a trainer. She helps Kenyans to be able to manage their finances together with Carol. So you are doing farming, you are a trainer. That means you already went to school and you were taught. So what made you feel like you did not know about money, yet you're so educated? It is my assumption that because you went through primary and university and college, you should be knowing.
Yeah, true. Well, I met Nina in church at Karura Community Chapel. So I heard about the personal finance class.
Okay.
And it was more of a curiosity thing. So I wanted to know what is going on in these classes. So I joined the class, and I would say it was an enlightening moment for me.
Okay.
I didn't know about money at all.
You didn't know about money?
I thought I knew money.
Okay.
I thought I knew if you're getting maybe 10,000 a month, then you have to spend that money.
Of course.
After going through the class the first week, the second week, and then I realized, oh my God, I didn't know anything about money, and I need to start budgeting. I need to know to save and think about the future and not just now.
Wow, I like what you said, that you didn't know anything about money. Carol, was that your experience? Because you are a financial expert. Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to get into this field. And do you know about money or do you not? Did you not, like Oliver?
Like Oliver, I went to school. Luckily for me, I studied finance in school.
Okay.
So I did learn about money. However, I learned the theoretical part of it.
Yes.
Nobody in my whole schooling, in my primary education or high school education, told me that once you receive your money, this is what you should do with it.
Okay.
So the knowledge that I gathered in university was very theoretical and was geared towards, employment and what you should do once you're employed.
And passing exams, of course.
Yes, and passing exams. Very key, very key.
Most important.
Yes, most importantly. So I have found that in our education system, there's a big gap.
Okay.
And this is what inspired me to get into this field, because I realized that myself and many of my friends, we did not have this knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's very interesting, because here you are, you're going through education to be able to get a job and get money.
Yes.
But nobody is telling you anything about when you get the money, what are you supposed to do with it?
Yeah.
How is it supposed to change your life? Is it something that people either assume that you know or something? And Nina, sorry, do you want to add a little?
Yes, allow me.
Yes.
In addition to what you've said, just to highlight, when I started when I was employed, I was blessed and I was employed in a bank, in an investment bank when I finished my schooling. Mm-hmm. And yes, I was employed and I was advising people how to invest their monies. Mm-hmm. But myself, I was not investing my money. Ah. Because I thought that, I should wait for the day that I earn a lot of money. Yes. And that time I felt, my 20,000 shillings was very little to invest.
Yeah.
So I waited and I waited until I met somebody who was actually in the university, mm-hmm. who had been coming to the investment bank and depositing his little money, 2,000 here, 1,000 the next week, 500, whatever he had, he was investing with the investment bank. And at the time, it had never clicked to me what this guy is doing until the day that one day he came to the bank and he had a whole, he was withdrawing over 2 million shillings to go.
2 million?
Yes. To go.
Are you talking about a university student?
Yes. To go.
Somebody in campus?
Yes.
No,
somebody
please, you're not emphasizing well enough.
Yes.
You're really rushing through that.
Somebody in campus. Somebody in campus had been depositing little amounts of money every week. I actually think it was whatever his parents was giving him for help.
Yeah.
Yes. So he had been depositing that money in small amounts in his CDS account for shares.
Yes.
So he had been buying shares slowly by slowly. And one day, like 3 years down the line, he came and was withdrawing close to 2 million shillings to go and put down a deposit for an apartment.
Wow.
Right?
That was a
me who had been working. I had been working for more than 5 years. I did not have any money close to that.
Yeah.
And for me, that was my wake-up call. Wow. That I do not need to wait for the day that I will earn, whatever I felt was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that we do. We wait to earn the 2 million instead of starting with the 20,000 to grow it into the 2 million,
Exactly.
And it's interesting that you say this person was in university.
Yes.
And we have already said that there's a gap in education.
Yes.
So this gap, is it really there? Because how did this person know? But anyway, that's another question.
Oh, I will answer that.
Did you interview that person?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
I did.
I can imagine, because you're like, when I grow up, and I've already grown up, this is what I want to be.
I
You're here.
did ask him.
Exactly.
I did ask him. He told me that his father taught him. His father actually, often used to tell him that whatever I give you, you must put some into a savings.
Yeah.
Yes, but for him, he decided there's no point putting it in a bank.
Yeah.
I want to invest it.
To invest it.
Yes.
All right, Nina.
Yes.
You have dealt with a lot of Kenyans, individuals, and corporates. By the time you're a corporate, like you have a company, you would think that that gap that Carol told us about and Oliver has been bridged. Do you agree with Carol that there is a gap in our education system, that we're not teaching, I don't know whether to call it finance or to call it personal finance or to call it money? What would you say about that?
I think there's a big gap. And I say this because of the kind of students who have come through our classes.
Okay.
You have people who have worked in the bank and are coming to a personal finance class. And I'm asking myself, what would I be adding value to you? Said, I may be a good banker, but I'm not good at my own money. Okay. So just the way we teach other skills of communication skills, work ethics, we also need to teach about basic money management. And I think it comes also from the individual person. I also deal with corporates or NGOs and small businesses who you are running a business, you have a good product and service, but your financial management of your business is just the same. That individual is also in shambles. Yes. So it's both sides.
Yeah.
Trying to know, yes, this is my business, this is my turnover. I need a budget for my business.
Yes.
And even as an individual, like Oliver is saying, it's not how much you earn. I have people coming to me, an organization coming to me to say, our staff need training in personal finance. They keep complaining that we are paying them very little.
Yes.
But before we add them more money,
Yes.
can you please teach them how to budget and save the little that they have?
That's
and
true.
those people have really gained a lot and appreciate that even if I'm earning 20,000 shillings, I know where my 20,000 shillings. I think bottom line, we get money, but we don't know the money, we don't know where the money is going.
Yeah.
But now we are teaching that tell your money where to go and not start waking up and saying, I received 50,000 last week, but I seriously cannot account for the 50,000.
Yeah,
And that's where most individuals are.
Yeah.
You may be earning, even waiting for that 100,000, but you don't know where your money is going.
And that's very true. And
Yeah.
it's very interesting that all three of you, the amounts of money you're mentioning, they're a bit surprising to me in a way, because you're saying 10,000,
Yeah.
20,000. Now you've gone the most and you've said 50. And I'm like, why are you talking about such low amounts of money? And yet people think that for you to have wealth, you need to be starting with, you need to be that person who came to the bank and withdrew 2 million. You mean 20,000 is something that you can actually work well with and live without having to, like, I mean, what about rent and food? Is it possible in this Nairobi, which I think is so expensive?
It is.
It
It
is.
is possible.
Okay.
If you manage your money well, I think the basic would be having a budget.
Having a budget.
Having a budget. So if you have your budget, if you have a budget, let's say you earn 20,000.
Yeah.
And then you sit down and say, how much is rent? How much am I going to save? How much am I going to tithe? How much will I put in as a savings? And which one is, how much is going to food? You'll be able to see that this is where my money is going.
Okay.
And then you tell if where you're paying rent, for example, is it suitable for the amount of money you're earning?
Exactly.
So if you get to a point where you see you're spending, or you have a budget that is more than the money you're earning,
Yes.
then you have to make adjustments in your life.
Okay.
And that is where it has to start.
Okay.
It has to start from budgeting. You have to sit down. This is the money that you have, and then this is how I'm going to spend it.
Okay.
That is how it has to start.
So this is now what you're saying, now that you have all the information that
Yeah.
you now have received from Nina and Carol. How was your life before you went for the personal finance class, which was offered in church? Thank God that you were in a space where it was offered. How was your life like before and after?
I would say my life was in shambles. Money comes, and then you'd still tell yourself I'm poor,
Yes.
because, well, it was right after campus. So I've finished campus. I'm getting jobs. Kidogo kidogo, you're getting 10,000, 18,000, 20,000.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the month, you still don't know where my money has gone.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to show where your money went.
Yes.
So your life is, you wake up in the morning. Today I have 10,000, so I leave the house, I go. In the evening, I have 7,000.
Yes.
I don't know where the money has gone. I've just been spending money all over.
Yeah.
But now, after the class, I would wake up in the morning and say, today I have 7,000. And then in the evening, I come back, I have an app. I say, in the morning, I spent 100 bob on fare. And I ate maybe chips somewhere, 100 bob.
Yes.
I'll be able to tell,
Yeah.
this is how much I've spent today. At the end of the month, I'd sit down, look at that, and budget for the next month,
Yeah.
using the information that I had from the previous month.
Yeah.
So that is how my life is now. But before, I was just there, I was just living.
You just wonder, you wonder, today I had, now I don't have, where did it go? But now at least you're able to understand where it went. You're not wondering, why is it mid-month and I was
don't
paid a
have much.
salary?
Yeah.
And did someone, you even start wondering, could somebody, mtu alinibia?
You even ask yourself.
You're like, I was in a mart, and I had opened my wallet. Did
Yeah.
somebody by mistake take maybe 2,000 without me noticing? Because honestly, you have no idea
And
where
you see,
it went
that is
to.
not even the worst. The worst would be, why am I in debt? Why am I in debt now? And I was paid. Maybe I'm in debt already on 15th, and I was paid maybe on the 5th.
Yeah.
Why do I owe Tala and Branch and owe the
Already.
others. Why do I owe everyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the worst.
That would be the worst. Yeah. Because now they start calling and all
Yeah.
that. And then you know, when they start calling you,
Yeah.
you know, it affects you, because what is the life of somebody, Carol, who is being harassed by the phone daily, by Fuliza, by Mshwari, by Tala? How is that person's life?
It's a very, very stressful life.
Yeah.
It's a very stressful life, and it's a life that, you know, you'd not wish on anybody. But unfortunately, that is how we have been conditioned,
Yes.
so to speak. Because what happens is, from when you were a child, you were taught that once you receive money,
Yes.
please find out how to spend it. Nobody tells you that this money is not all to be spent.
Yes.
Your main challenge is not just how to spend, it's how to also save it, how to stretch it, how to ensure that it grows,
Yes.
right? So no one ever told you that. So now we come into your life when you're 50, when you're already in so much debt.
Yeah.
Yes, and we try to tell you, okay, you know what? This is what you should have done from the day you started receiving your salary
When
at
you're
20
20.
years. Yes.
Years
And you do
later.
not know where to begin.
Yeah, you don't.
You're extremely stressed.
Retirement is coming at you.
Retirement is coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, yeah, that life is very stressful.
Yes.
And very anxiety. A lot of anxiety.
You have a lot
Yeah.
of anxiety.
Yeah.
And so that's why Nina and I have been stressing that this education needs to be given to people at the youngest possible.
Ah,
Yes.
Okay.
If it's possible, start to teach your children when they're still very young.
Okay.
Yes. Teach them to keep some money aside. Don't just tell them, here is 500. You give your nieces and your nephews money.
spoil
This
them.
birthday.
Yeah.
This here is 500.
Yes.
And they go wild in the supermarket, which is a beautiful thing. However, remember they will continue like that.
Yes.
Yes. Even the day they will earn 500,000 shillings,
It will be the same.
it will be the same. I
Excitement.
have worked.
Yeah.
I have worked in the corporate. I have known people who've grown from 50,000 to 200,000 to 500,000, even to 1 million, but they're still in debt.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're still in
You'd
debt.
expect them to be lenders to
Yes.
the others. The rest of us who are here under
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
They still have debt with Tala
With Tala,
and
yes.
branch,
And branch.
and you're earning 1 million shillings.
Yeah. Honestly, really, that
Sometimes
is not what you envisioned for
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah.
It was not what you planned.
True.
Right? So there's something definitely
There's
wrong
a
there.
problem.
Somewhere.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a problem. And Nina, tell us about, Carol has mentioned from when you're young.
Yeah.
So one of the things I have noticed about children that we are raising is that they have no concept of money, number
Yeah.
one, because you go with them to the supermarket, you buy the things, you bring home. They have no idea. You know, when I was young, I knew, because of being sent to the kiosk often to buy something and bring change and being told to keep change, I knew even at least the price of an egg, the price of bread. My children, on the other hand, I'm frustrated with them because I'm like, they don't even know, when you give them like 50 bob, they don't know what it is. Like, they don't know it can buy how many lollipops. And I'm just like, guys, this is not the right situation going on.
Yeah.
What can you say about our children? It's good that Carol has said that you should start from when they're very young.
Yeah.
How young is young, and what programs do you have to be able to help parents?
It's a very important thing because, again, children pick from their parents.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, we should teach them when they're young about budgeting and the value of money.
Yeah.
And also that thing of a sense of entitlement. I want now. Most Kenyans, most individuals also, you want gratification now.
Yes.
So I'm a parent and I want this now, and I show my parent that we can have it now.
Yes.
And so the same thing to them, that when they want something, they want it now. So you start instilling those good money habits, first of all, of saving, even if it's to get a piggy bank or to open an account for them, that every time they're given a gift of 500 shillings, put away 100 shillings, go wild with the 400 shillings.
Yeah.
But the person starts realizing, oh, I can put this aside. The next time they want to ask you for something, it will be easy for them to say, but mom, I have saved some. Can I have some
Yes.
from my saving? As opposed to saying, I want it now and it's me who's going to give them from my money. So we have to start teaching those habits. But something else I want to add is that yes, we are in this space where it's really crazy, but it's never too late.
Okay.
So when people are signing for our classes, again, someone will come and say, but I'm 45, what can I do? I've already messed up. No, you haven't
too
messed
late?
up. It's never too late because
Let me dig myself more into the
yes,
hole.
you can still learn and change your habits.
Okay.
So it's not what age you are at.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would like to add is also about the debt.
Okay.
So we have already gotten into debt. So what happens is that we are so overwhelmed with the debt, I'd rather not talk about it. I know I owe like 5 million. Let's just leave that story and I continue living. Not realizing your debt is still adding interest.
piling,
So even our classes, we're talking about finding where am I right now?
Yeah.
Yes, I need to save more, I need to budget more, but I'm also in debt. So we're also teaching about how do I get out of that debt.
Yeah.
And there are simple ways of getting out of debt. There are many stories of people saying, I came in, I had so much debt, but I started following the tips that you gave us, and I'm slowly getting out of debt.
Yeah.
So instead of looking at the bottom line of your debt of 5 million, what are the little debts that you have that have added up to 5 million? And you start with the small ones, and you get
That's
rid
a
of
lot.
it. and
Can you
get
imagine
rid-
having a debt of 5 million? As in the
Yes.
bandwidth in your head that it takes
Yes.
is a lot. You can't forget that you owe, you know?
Yeah.
So you've no peace of mind.
You have no peace of
Yeah.
mind, but you
But
have
you
to
can
face
still
the
do
fact
something
to do
about
something
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that now, as you develop your budgeting, and if you budget and say, yes, there's rent, there's this, but out of this little money I have, let me at least put 5% of whatever I have towards
Debt.
The
paying the
repayments,
debts.
yeah.
Because you're paying slowly. Just the way you save little by little and it goes from the 100,000 to the 5 million is the way, even as you reduce the debt little by little, eventually it will go.
Eventually,
But if you
yeah.
sit back, the interest will continue to
Increase.
To
rise.
increase, and then the debt will increase.
And you'll just say, no, I cannot deal with this. So I think our classes are really basic things that you can do.
Yeah.
And also trying to, when you come to the class, you do an assessment of yourself. Where am I right now?
Yes.
We even encourage people for 1 month. I think Wekesa did this. You jot down all your expenses for 1 month, even the 10 bob that you give you tip somebody at the
I
parking.
know. Yeah.
And it's very surprising at the end of the 1 month where they look at where their money has been
Where-
going, and they're saying, is this really me? So
Yeah.
there's someone who, even one of my former classmates was saying, I think I'm going to get a nervous breakdown because I didn't realize that I spent 20% of my money on Uber. But because
know,
they
it's a
jotted down,
lot. Yeah.
they
okay.
jotted down their expenses and realized, why am I spending 20% of my money on
this
Uber?
what I'm working
And I'm
for?
the same person saying, I have no money to save.
Yes.
So I would say, there is your money to save. Stop using Uber and take that money to your
To your savings.
So you start with what you have, where
Yeah.
you are, whether you're in debt, whether look at your habits, and based on those habits, now you'll be able to learn from us, what new habits do I need to implement to make my life a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Oliver, when I look at you right now, you seem like you are able to, because you talked about the loans, the Tala, and you know what to do when you have a debt with Tala.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You just borrow from the other Nini.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you pay
You do
Tala. What is so complicated about that? I mean, honestly, why are you guys making it look like it is so difficult? There are so many people who are offering me money nowadays on my phone. So
Yeah.
if I have a loan with one, it's okay. I just take from this one and put. Is it okay, or is that what had happened and you found that you owe so many?
I would say it's a short-term solution.
Okay.
But then don't forget that if you borrow from one and then you pay the debt for the other one, you still have interest on the other side.
You've really not
So you-
solved the issue.
You haven't, you're actually
To be
increasing
honest,
your debt.
but what you've done is at least Tala will stop stressing you.
Yeah, but you're adding.
Now this other person will start to solve solution.
So they'll give you, maybe you'll have
And
peace
the way it
for
seems
2 weeks.
clever,
Yeah.
no,
You'll
it's
have peace
not.
for 2 weeks.
Okay.
But then maybe let's say you borrowed 5,
Okay.
and then the interest rates are actually very high. If you compare with any other lending institution.
Yeah.
They're very high.
Okay.
They will charge you around 17% per month.
Wow.
If you
That's
do
very
that
high.
in a year, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
So maybe you borrowed 5,000, they charge you maybe 10%, 500.
Yeah.
You know you have to borrow 5,500 from the other side,
Yeah.
which increases the
the
debt.
interest,
Yeah.
because the interest is
that
on the
side.
5 now, not
Yeah.
on the 5K.
So
Yeah.
you're not paying a debt, you're actually borrowing more.
You actually, instead of actually reducing your debt, you're
You're
getting
increasing
more
the
in
Yeah,
debt.
you're adding debt, yeah.
Oh
And
my
you
God,
won't
it's
have
actually
peace.
a vicious cycle.
You'll not have peace. Those people call you all the time, and it's
How
not
did
a
you get
good
out of that? Was it so difficult? Because people usually feel like it's so difficult. But you talked about basic steps. What are some of the basic things you did, like maybe 1 or 2 examples, that helped? I like what you said about Uber. Because when
yeah.
you look at that you're spending 20% of your salary on Uber, honestly, you can take a mat. I mean, what is the big deal? I mean, you're going to make a huge saving. Isn't that so? That is
Yeah.
very simple.
Yeah, basic.
So for me, it was a bit different. I was lucky.
Okay.
I was lucky that after the classes or during the classes, I got an employment,
Thank God.
and the money was a bit more than what I was earning.
Yes.
And what the class taught me was, for you to be at peace, for you to even think about investments, for you to think about saving money, you first of all need to think about your debt and sort out that issue,
Yes.
because it's going to be something pulling you back.
Always, yeah.
So what I did was, my salary, first month, second month, I cleared all my debts.
Okay.
I had to clear all the debts that I had. I felt free. And now from there, now how do we move forward?
You start on a clean slate.
Yes, you start on a clean
Yeah.
slate. Now how do you move forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was lucky.
Oh,
But
you are
then-
lucky. Thank
Yeah.
God. Thank God for the class. Because what
God
will
for that,
happen
yes.
is now you have
Yeah.
more money. And Carol, what do we do? You know, he's very lucky because he came for the class. And so when he got more money, he paid off his debt. What is the behavior of Kenyans when you get more money?
We expand our lifestyle.
Expand the
We expand our
lifestyle
lifestyles. You know,
by-
as we talk about this issue, it's very, very important to, you know, we think that peer pressure is only with teenagers.
Yes.
Adults have the worst peer pressure because my crew is going to Mombasa. We must go. We must.
And everyone is driving.
Yeah, and everyone
Yes.
is driving.
My crew, everybody is driving a BMW. Hiyo ndio club.
Tumefika hapo kiwango.
No offense. If you can afford it, by all means. I mean, life is to be lived.
Exactly.
However, please be very careful as you buy that BMW, as you do all these things. Be very, very careful that you're not ruining your future.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you're eating from your future,
Yeah.
right? Remember, you only have limited period of time in which you're able to earn.
Okay.
For those of us who are
Who are
employed.
employed.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. Or even if you're not employed, you will not be able to run around forever,
You won't.
right?
I mean, the
you have
body
your
just doesn't
energy for a
allow.
limited period.
Yes.
So when I borrow to buy my VX,
You know.
yes,
Millions upon millions.
millions upon millions.
To look good and show
because
off.
my crew,
Yeah.
my
That's how we
buddies,
roll.
that's how we
Yeah,
roll.
that's how we roll.
You're stealing from your future and stealing from your children.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's very, very dangerous. It's good for us to, and that's why this class is important, because it calls you to intentionally stop whatever you're doing and think.
I like
Think.
that word. Think.
Think.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we are so busy running and
Yeah.
running. We're in the rat race. You're looking for money, but you don't stop to think, what am I doing with this money?
Yes. That's true.
Yes, I am waking up at 5 every morning. I'm on the road by 6. I am
think-
coming home at 9 p.m. But what are you doing with your money?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an important question.
Yes.
And thank God that we have people who can help us to answer the question. But before we do, we need to take a short break. So viewer, please keep it here. We shall be right back after the break.
Everybody, let's go! Everybody go down. Go, go, go down. Everybody go down. Everybody go down.
Bwana, hashtag ni moja, tumia hashtag Friday Entertainment, alafu hakikisha unasogelea screen yako. Burudani sio burudani bila wakuu wa burudani ugani, si ndio? Sisi kama wakuu wa burudani tutakuwa tunahakikisha kwamba tunakupa burudani kila siku ya Ijumaa kuanzia mida ya saa 12 mpaka mida ya 4 kamili. Sito Mr. Double J, alafu nitakuaga na mwanangu wa Power, atakuwa anahakikisha kwamba kila kitu kiko fresh.
Just kama kawa kama dawa, nitakuwa nakupatia muziki mishe hapo, and I'll be giving you something like this.
Hallelujah. Deha na DJ sticky.
Unawaponya wagonjwa na wenye vifaa.
Sahau tena tuko tunapiga story na washikaji zetu, wageni wetu, wasanii wetu, alafu kila kitu kinakuwa vizuri zaidi. Yeah.
Gospel of Jesus Christ. They were designed to teach the truths of the Bible and to build an unwavering faith in God. However, as time has passed, theological institutions found themselves placing the thoughts of man above the Word of God. It's time to look past rigid and theory-centric theological curricula and return to a true study of the Bible that will instill faith in our hearts and strengthen our spirits. Good News Theology School offers practical, flexible, and affordable systematic study of the Word through insightful lectures, engaging student-led projects, and heart-to-heart fellowship with classmates and professors alike. Good News Theology School is where future servants of the gospel learn how to preach the light of Jesus Christ to those who are stuck in sin and despair. Register today and become a missionary of Christ, no matter where you are.
Back, viewer. This is GBS TV Africa. Remember that we are online on all the social media channels. There's Facebook, there's YouTube. Please subscribe and you can be able to follow us. Today we're talking about something very interesting, and if you have any questions or comments, please you can type them and we'll be able to get back to you either during the show or after. And if you want to send a message, the SMS line is 21144. So we're talking about financial enrichment, enriching yourself financially. Like, that means that you're poor when it comes to money. Therefore, instead of continuing to be a poor person where money is involved, enrich yourself. The way that you even eat so that you can now be full and add some weight. When it comes to money, it is important to enrich yourself, which is why we've got these experts with us, and they're telling us about personal finance, something we're not taught about in schools. But also, Nina, I'm very curious. Did you just wake up one morning and decide to be a financial coach, or what is the story that led you to where you are today?
No, I did not wake up and decide to be a financial coach.
Yes.
I worship at Karura Community Chapel, and 2-3 years ago, myself and another gentleman, we were approached to come up with a personal finance class for the congregation from a biblical perspective, God and money. And we took a year to develop that course.
Oh, that's nice.
And we offered it in church, for the congregation,
Yeah.
and the response was overwhelming. I mean, everyone was very excited that this is really helping me a lot. Out of those classes, people started calling me to say, we have this group, please come and do the same personal finance class for our group. I'm a HR in this company, our staff are complaining about their money, please come and teach them. And so I decided perhaps there's a huge need for this. I was only doing it to serve in my church, but obviously everybody needs this course. So I then decided to do it properly and offer it to anybody. Actually, the class is for anyone 18 and above. Who is already receiving some money in some way. So learn to manage your money. So I started with a personal finance class, which basically covers budgeting, saving, and debt management. And doing a wellness check for yourself to be able to see where you are. And then we touch a little bit on investments. And so that grew in itself out of my serving in my church. And so I decided to put it as one of my classes in my consulting, in Nina Gina Consulting. And then during COVID last year, it seemed that the need suddenly rose, I think because everybody experienced what COVID did. People not understanding, I don't have an emergency fund, and they ask you, what is an emergency fund?
New term.
And those are the things that we teach about, having some money for a rainy day, and the rainy day came for many Kenyans last year. So I started again offering it online. It used to be actually face-to-face. So online, again, it picked up. And then those who have who benefited from the personal finance class said, okay, this is all well and good. I think I'm now on my way to saving. But I need to learn about investments. So my background also is I train professionals in the capital market sector on their professional side. So I know a lot about investments. And so some of the previous students challenged me and said, start an investing class. We are ready to join. And so I started the investing class. But I wanted the investing class to be simple. And not technical. Because when you ask a Kenyan when they get money, what do you invest in? I buy a plot of land and a few shares. That's it. They don't know much. There's shares, there's money market funds, there's lots of financial assets that you can invest in. Do you have a retirement fund? I have no idea how to even start. You're working for a company. Do you know how much is in your pension? I don't know even the name of the pension fund. So, that's when I did a bit of, research and said, let me start this investing class, but from a practical perspective. And I didn't want it to be academic or technical. I want you to come out of the class and be able to make a call and say, or go to your bank and say, I want to do this because now I understand what a treasury bond is. I want to invest in this treasury bond.
Because those things can be so technical.
So I think that's what made it simple, and I decided to use experts also from the market, and hence Carol, and there is another lady also who now comes in because she's worked in the investments industry. You can ask all the questions you want about Nairobi Securities Exchange, about the shares. How do I start? What happens if the company is no longer listed? Those are things that Kenyans want to know but don't even know how to ask. So we make the classes interactive and allow the participants to ask as many questions because as finance people, we assume that people know. But when we come from the point of view of giving you a platform where you now are able to ask all the questions you want regarding some particular asset, it's easy for us to provide you with the information rather than us assume that this is the information you need. So the investing class has really picked up because now people are able to say, okay, fine, I can even invest in a fund. Oh, I've heard about this particular product. What can you tell us more about it? Other students have even said that now when they go to their, one went to their bank and said, I want to invest in this particular bond, and she was asking questions, and the person who was serving her at the bank was saying, how come you know so much?
I know.
No, because I want to know what is the interest, what are the payment dates, which are things people don't know. She didn't know before. So it's just providing that knowledge, and also there's also the other side of what are the things to look out for, because many other also investment products may look good, but they are turning out to be pyramid schemes or Ponzi schemes, and here you are, you have been so good at your saving, and then you put all your money into this product, and suddenly it's actually not fake. Yeah. So what questions do you ask when you're investing? So that's how the classes started, and we have the classes every month.
Serendipity. I mean, you just found yourself in that space, as in, you know, just like luck, but anyway, very intentional. It's like it found you, and you're the right person to actually do it. So, Carol, you're telling us a very interesting story about the person who came to withdraw the 2 million, and that person told you that it's their dad. Their father had actually taught them how to do this. What lessons? How did your life change after having that conversation with that gentleman, if at all?
For me, as an individual, it was an eye-opener, because from that day henceforth, I intentionally decided to put some money aside to my CDS account. I opened an account and I started to save money, and I started to invest in shares little by little, and my portfolio grew. And with time, I was also able to invest in other products. So for me, that guy was a huge turning point for me, and I thank God for that. But also, I put a note to mind that the day I get children, I will teach them. Because I know in school they will never learn. Nobody will teach them these things.
About money.
Yes. And I have made that point, and I have kept that promise. Because my children, my children are very young.
What you've done.
My children are very young. I have an 8-year-old and I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So what I have done is they have bank accounts where they save their money. They also they have bank accounts. They have bank accounts where they save their money.
So their money or your money?
Their money. They are given money, right?
Okay,
yes,
of course. Because
sometimes they do chores. I mean, look, sometimes they do chores and they get paid, right? Or sometimes they're given money as gifts, right?
Yeah,
so when people come in and give them money, they now know to put some money aside. So they will come to me and say, of course, because I have taught them, they'll come to me and say, I would like to put some money aside because I want to buy this and this, right? And they also know that there's tithe, right? They know that there's 10% that goes towards tithe, and there's money that goes towards savings, and there's money that goes towards spending.
Okay.
Right. So we have made that very clear, and every little money or much money that they get, they go ahead and do that.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yes.
I like that they actually save their money. That is so cool, having that conversation with the little. So Oliver, you don't believe in YOLO, you only live once. So, you know, when you get a chance to just do this big thing that has come along.
No, not anymore. I used to believe in that narrative. You only live once. And it was famous. It was actually famous at that point.
Yes.
But now I feel like you have to plan.
You've got to plan.
You have to plan. Even if you can go to Maldives, you can go to Hawaii if you want to. But plan for it.
Because there's this feeling that being a good financial manager is kujinyima sana, is like not eating always. There's nothing wrong with cabbage, by the way, but it's always just eating veggies. But it's actually about planning. I like that word, planning.
You have to plan.
And if you want to travel, you just plan for it. Because actually what happens is that if you don't plan, now what you want to do, now you can't. You know, a point which is where now you want to go on holiday, but you can't because you have no money. You know?
True.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know where you're going, then everywhere is your destination. So you wouldn't even have those ideas like, I want to do something big. Because you can't chart that way. You can't chart a way to get there. So you don't have any plan. You're just YOLO. You're living.
And then, you know, it's like such highs and lows, and very erratic kind of lifestyle, you know. And you know, it's crazy.
Can I say something? And it will be the same for not just for personal finance, not just for money, not just getting out of debt. It's not just about you saving money. It's also about investments. You can't say that I'm waiting for the day I get 2 million, and then I can buy a plot somewhere and build. You can start with 2,000, just like Carol was saying. Start with 2,000, save it somewhere. It's earning interest, and that is how you grow your wealth. There are no shortcuts. You just have to go through the process.
Exactly. Because we're all there's this feeling that we're waiting for this big day, this big day that is going to come, and then you're going to just find yourself with all this money, and that day it's like it's always in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
No.
And the
you've got
day
to
might
plan.
actually come that
It
you
might.
get 2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But-
if you're the same person who does not know how to manage money,
Yeah.
I can promise you're not going to invest that money.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will not know how to.
It will overwhelm you. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying. Basically, you have a
will
million
overwhelm you.
salary,
Yeah.
but you still have
You don't know how
fuliza.
to manage your money.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Bible says that who is diligent and prudent with little
Yes.
is also
given
will
much.
also
Yeah, can be given.
prudent with much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
So that is what has happened. If you cannot manage your 10,000,
Yeah.
even your 1 million, you will not be able to manage.
Yes.
And that is why many people who get windfalls, you know, you win a lot of money in, you know, you get a windfall from somewhere, or you get money from one of those sports companies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, you
We need
win.
to talk about that. by
You
the way.
get
Yes.
great
Gambling.
wins, great wins, right? You've gambled,
Yeah.
and you get, I don't know, 10 million, even 100 million. You will not be able to manage that. If you were not able to manage your 10,000,
Yeah.
that 10 million
You can't.
will
You
not
will
stick
not
with
be
you.
able to manage
No.
it as
Yes.
well.
No.
You'll find that it comes in. It will be the same story basically of I had it. Where has it gone?
Gone.
Yes.
Yes.
The same way with the 10,000 you
Yeah.
ask, where has it gone? It will be the same story
Same-
with,
same
the,
story.
with the
10
10 million.
True.
So the important thing is to actually to learn where your money goes and to take your money where. I like that. It's like you're the boss
Yeah.
of
Yes.
your money.
Tell your money where to
You're
go.
telling it go here, go here. Not that it is disappearing without your
Your knowledge.
Your knowledge. Yeah. So does it actually work, or is it like a fairy tale? Well, of course we have Oliver here, so it's actually possible.
It is very possible. In fact, from the classes,
Yeah.
I keep meeting people from the class, including Wekesa, and they say, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did this and it's working. And you know, I think the main point to make is that this when we start the class, I don't want this class to be you went to another class. We
Yes.
want you after the class. What is your plan? In fact, during the class, like the investing class, you must make your goals. By the end of the class, you have your goals.
Yeah.
So that those goals will guide where you're going to invest. Otherwise, if you don't, we can go to a million classes on personal finance. But if we don't take action, so also making it simple for them to take action, it was very easy for me to call Wekesa and say, please talk about your experience, because he already had a story.
He does,
Because he took action after the class.
Yeah.
And so we also try to build a community of all the people who have been in the class in one group. And we keep sharing our milestones and their experiences. And they also continue asking questions. I came across this investment product. What do you think about it? You know, so it continues. We don't want the class to be this 5-week online class and goodbye, see you. We want to hear and follow up and see what has it done for you. And the more people hear about what it has done, the easier it is for others to
join.
do it. Yeah. And we're willing to, we always say with Carol and the other facilitator that we are still here with you, working with you. Wekasa can still call us 10 years later and say, I have this thing that I've invested in and I'm thinking, you know, give me some advice. What are your thoughts?
That's true.
Yeah, so it's making it practical. And yes, it is doable. And let's remove the notion that I need a million. Yeah, you don't need a million. I had a class where they were saying, I don't have money to save, and I gave a very simple example. How much do you spend in terms of sending money using mobile money? Their charges.
Their charges.
And they did some calculation, and the calculation was coming to some 5,000-6,000 shillings on charges, not the money you're sending, on charges. So why not use cash for some expenses and save that sum of those 6,000? You
It's a
save
lot.
3,000 in a month. At the end of the year, how much do you have?
You have 12 times 3, which is 36.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
wouldn't 36,000 be handy during Christmas for gifts?
Absolutely.
And it came from where? It came from your mobile charges.
Imagine.
So we try to make it practical, as simple as that.
Yeah.
So not saying that it's this big thing that how will I be able to save 2 million? It's those little things where, so if you know where your money is going, you'll be able to find that little money to put aside to be able to save, to be able to invest. You don't have to go buying 10,000 shares. You can start buying 100 shares, 100 shares, 100 shares, if it's shares that you want to invest in. Yeah.
And you know what, Carol? I'm thinking, is this conversation elitist? Or is it like, can everybody do this? Like, what if you're a house help, for example? Can you do this? Because what makes people feel that they cannot invest? You know, because if you're a house help, for example, and you're earning like, how much?
10,000, yeah.
Can you save, or must you go and spend all your money on clothes and hairstyling? Is this conversation for everybody, or is it just for some people? What makes people feel like they shouldn't or they can't, that it's too out of reach?
I like that you've asked that question because, and I like the example you've given of a house help.
Yes.
Because for starters, the advantage that a house help has is that most of them are living, they live with their employer. So
That's
first
right.
and foremost, that's the first saving. You're not thinking about rent, you're not thinking about food.
Yes.
So if I have my 7,000 shillings that I'm being paid,
Yes.
and I'm not thinking about those expenses,
Yeah.
I'm already ahead.
You are, yeah.
Yes, I'm already ahead. And I would like the house helps who are listening
Yes.
in to please know that you are already ahead.
Yeah.
It is very, very important for them to start to save, even if it's 2,000. And I did have a helper at my house
Tell us
who
about
we had
that.
this conversation.
Yes.
Because I always say charity begins at home.
It does.
Right?
Yes.
So we had this conversation and I told her, you know what? Please, the day you leave this house, I do not want you to start going to looking for a job and begging
Begging, yeah.
for money. That money that I'm paying you, what is it that you're doing with it? Yes, I know you. Perhaps you're sending some of it back home,
Yes.
which is a good thing. But don't send all of it.
Yeah.
Put, your 3,000, your 2,000 aside. Then the rest you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You want to buy clothes and all that.
Yeah.
And I tell you, by the time she left our house, she had more than 30,000 shillings saved.
That's good. Because
Yes.
now you can start a business,
yes.
you know?
And she was able to
You have
start
capital.
small business and she went and got married. And I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. And I make it my point to, talk to all the people who think that they're earning too little.
To save and invest.
And you will be surprised that those people, by the way, are more faithful about saving than the people who earn much.
Exactly. Funny enough. Yeah.
Yes.
And you find that the ones who have been able to even build that house,
Yes.
that you've been here thinking that you should, but
Yes.
you've not been able to because you have no knowledge to help you.
Yes.
And guess what? Time is not on our side, so we need to get into our parting shot. So, Oliver, please tell our viewers what your parting shot is.
Well, mine would be very simple. Carol and Esther are saying that it's never too late.
Yeah.
For me, it's never too early.
Uh-huh.
You can start at any time.
I like that. It's never too
You
early.
can start anytime, even now. If you feel like, there are people my age who feel like it's bado. Still
Yeah.
have
You
time.
feel like you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
You still have a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's never too early to start.
Okay.
So start managing your finances right now. Start investing. Now is
Wow.
the time.
Thank you. I like that. Yeah. All right. Nina, give us your parting shot. And let us also know
yes.
how to get in touch with you for the
Okay.
classes.
All right.
Yeah.
For me, it's to encourage everyone. I think everybody needs this class. We have two classes. There's a personal finance class, which is a 4-week online class, and we have the investing class, which is also a 5-week online class. In fact, we have one starting today. So we have our classes every month. You can email us on info@ninaginaconsulting.com or call us on 0715-828218. And as Wekesa said, it's never too late. Whether you're 40, 18, 30, the classes are for you. So I'm looking forward to getting people to learn more about their money.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Nina, we are so happy that you've started this for Kenyans. Please keep it up. It's your little thing that you're doing, and it's your little thing that is changing lives. And I'm so happy to hear that already people's lives have been changed, families, businesses. So keep it up. It started sort of by luck, but look at the effects, right?
Yeah.
It's really, really inspiring. So Carol, give us your parting shot. I wish we have time to hear how did you get into this, but time is not on our end.
It's okay. Next time.
Next time.
My parting shot is that to ask Kenyans, before you invest your hard-earned money into anything, please ask the right questions. Do your due diligence. That's what in the bank we call it, due diligence. But basically, investigate, find out more about this product, this company that you're investing in. Just do a bit of groundwork so that you do not lose your money. this thing of being told there's land being sold somewhere and you quickly go and put your money in there without asking the right questions is very dangerous. So, and that's really one of the things that we teach in the class. Are you asking the right questions? Are you doing your due diligence? Are you investigating some of these companies that you are investing in?
Thank you so much, Carol. And just to add, basically what I'm hearing you saying also is let's have a mentor. In terms of, sometimes Kenyans, we want to hide, we want to make a lot of money and be rich as the people around us are poor.
Yeah.
In the process, you get into the wrong investment. But maybe if you had actually asked, you'd have been told, these guys have an issue that you need to think about before you give them your money. And a lot of people have lost a lot of money. So my parting shot is, please be guided into investments, but be guided by the right people so that you can be able to enrich your life financially rather than lose your hard-earned cash. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we hope that next year, January, we are not going to be having the issues we are having right now, or if we are, we'll be happy that we know where our money went and it went where we wanted it to go. So thank you for keeping it here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.